Welcome to the Naughty Boy channel. Mafia 4 was confirmed in 2022 during an interview for Mafia 1's 20th anniversary. Earlier that year, there was an apparent leak via a Kotaku article, which claimed Hangar 13 was working on both a new Top Spin game and Mafia 4, which will be a prequel set in Italy. The Top Spin prediction has now come true, and the leaker has a good reputation, so it seems likely the Mafia 4 claims will be true as well. Around the same time, there was a rumor podcast called Xbox Era, which made the same claims, but added just one interesting detail.
And you follow the family of Don Salieri. Does that name mean anything to anyone? Don Salieri? Is that a person from an earlier Mafia game? Go.
Oh, I think he is the boss in Mafia 2. He's your boss in Mafia 2, yeah.
Okay.
I'm looking. I recognize him. He's the guy that Vinny works for in Mafia.
Oh.
This rumor about playing as Salieri seems unreliable for reasons I will explain later, but for now I would like to explain why it is possible that Salieri will at least appear in Mafia 4 and also why I think it could be another character. We just have to look at their backstory. So let's start with the story of Salieri and Frank. Salieri was born in the late 1800s around the same time as Frank, who was born in 1877. They became childhood friends in 1885 when they started betting on dog races using Frank's dog. I will let Frank tell you what happened next.
We started setting up races together, betting on her with coins and rifle shells. There wasn't another dog that could catch her. She never lost. Until the day she did. We were only out a pocket knife, but I never saw the Don so angry.
She got old on you?
No. Pregnant. She went into heat, got out of the yard, and every dog in town had a turn. The Don tried to drown her. I broke his nose.
After failing to drown the dog, Salieri decided to shoot the dog.
That's right. Oh! But when you tried to drown?
Yeah. Same one I shot after he wouldn't let me sink her.
In 1908, he moved to Lost Heaven with no money. Some Mafia fans believe he was not a criminal yet because he was poor and had no money. But I have not seen any evidence that he was not a criminal yet. It is possible that he was just a low-level criminal, or that he was high-level but lost everything in a disaster. That could be why he ran away to America. After all, this is the type of guy who was already involved in underground gambling and shooting dogs. It's also likely he was somewhat connected during his time in Italy. He is known to be friends with Don Frank Vinci from Mafia 2, who also started his life in Italy. Also in Mafia DE, he had friends in Italy who recognized Frank when he went into hiding. But that part is just speculation. By 1918, he was a captain in Lost Heaven's Peponi family. Then in 1921, Peponi died and Salieri became a Don Salieri. It seems possible that this part of the story is also covered since Hangar 13 has already built their Lost Heaven map for Mafia DE. Maybe we will get a game that is half in Italy, then half in Lost Heaven. At least we can still play the excellent fan-made Rise and Fall mod for Mafia 1, which is about that part of the story. In conclusion, it is certainly possible that we play as Salieri in Mafia 4. However, he would be an awkward and unusual choice for a protagonist. This is a man who we know is deeply hypocritical and greedy, not to mention that he killed Frank's dog over a small loss. He was ultimately the antagonist of Mafia 1 and DE, and is more unlikable and irredeemable than all Mafia protagonists so far. He is pretty much a psychopath, but I guess Hangar 13 can attempt to give him some humanity. Now I'd like to tell the story of Luigi Marino. In Mafia DE, he is a semi-retired soldier in the Salieri family and looks after the Salieri bar. He is also the father of Sarah, who was the game's love interest. He was well known as a brutal hitman, but also has a relatable and human side, much like other Mafia protagonists. He is clearly from Italy due to his thick accent. It is unknown when he moved to America, but he gained his reputation around 1900, just 8 years before Salieri arrived. So it's possible they had crossed paths back in Italy, then reunited in Lost Heaven. It is impossible to walk away from the Mafia life, but Salieri helped Luigi out a lot by letting him retire in a way where he's still part of the family, a barman who can still fight when needed. In Mafia DE, we learn how deadly and capable he used to be as a killer.
These men would be under a bridge, throats slit, food for fish. We'll teach him respect. Don't worry.
Then he went to jail, then got a letter from his wife who seemed to hate him.
You stitched up a lot of fellas.
Just my father. Ma would really go after Luigi sometimes. He got pretty good at ducking dinner plates. So one day she stabbed him with her knitting needle. Right through the hand.
What for?
'Cause she was an ugly, jealous drunk.
She threatened to run away with Sarah if he does not retire from killing. Apparently, she ended up abandoning both him and Sarah anyway.
Stop this car at once.
As a side note, she has a strong resemblance to Tommy's first taxi passenger. Could it be her?
These Italians are all the same.
In conclusion, I think Luigi Marino would make an excellent protagonist in Mafia 4. Clearly, he moved to America at a late age, so it would be a great story in Italy about how he honed his skills as such an effective hitman, and how he balanced that life with his family life. In my opinion, this would be much better than playing as Salieri, and they could be working together anyway. That way, we can explore both stories. So what do you think, Mafia fans? Let me know in the comments what you expect from Mafia 4, and all the likes and subscribe are greatly appreciated. I do not have a Patreon, so if you'd like to support my work, you may find something you like at my Etsy store, where I list fan art and cosplay items. Thanks for watching the Naughty Boy channel.
Goodbye.